You guys want to talk about the meltdown that Collective Shout is having over on X lately because people are getting wise to their ways? Because, oh my God, this meltdown is one for the ages because they understand, they realize that the gig is up and what used to work doesn't work anymore. And people are getting wise to it and they're calling that shit out, nip it in the bud right away, and they don't have a leg to stand on. Collective Shout on July 17th said, since we launched our campaign calling on payment processors to stop facilitating payments for grape, that, and that themed games on Steam, they have added a new rule to their policies and removed hundreds of these games. Like this is some sort of W for them because they are enforcing censorship in gaming, that these people do not even play games, nor can they even give an actual scientific reason for pushing their rationale, except for they hurt my fifis. I don't want those games there. Predictably, now you guys tell me if this sounds familiar. Predictably, misogynistic gamers have come out in defense of their grape games. Checkmark. Sending us abuse, threats, prawn, and CSAM. Check. Using and distributing photos of our faces. The same photos that you guys post publicly on your social media. Check. Encouraging us to not unalive themselves. The irony isn't lost on us. We counted almost 500 games tagged with grape and incest on Monday. And at our last count, there are 82 left. We want them all gone. Man, that sounds like a John Della Rose. We want all the porn gone from everything. Benjamin Long. Your authority is relegated to the country to which you reside. Any action that you take outside your jurisdiction will have to go through the State Department over the country you want to take action with, which means you'll have to interact with Donald Trump at some point. Yes and no, because they found a workaround. They don't need to worry about the policies of the country. If they get to the worldwide credit companies that literally are running the entire world, that make all the decisions on what's allowed and what's not, they can bypass government. They've glitched the code to find a way to break it to get their way. This is a massive deal. This is going to blow up and be huge. Like, this is going to be a story that continues for a while. And I don't know how there's going to be a resolution unless someone like Donald Trump hears about it and speaks up and does something about it. But for that to happen, there needs to be a lot of noise being made, and already is. This is Coralie Ellison, the movement operations manager at Collective Shout, who said, Pronsic gamers angry that Steam removed their grape incense and that are now sending me and my colleagues at Collective Shout grape and that's. Here we go with the, oh, my victimhood card. Let's play my victimhood card. I got mean tweets. People said mean things to me online. This means nothing. Because what would Coralie Ellison say if someone said to her, what you're doing is mean to what my passion is. It's mean to the industry that I care about. Do you think she'd say, oh, I'm sorry. Let me not be mean to your industry. Let me not do that. Do you think she'd care? Or do you think she'd say, oh, you're just a gross misogynistic porn addict and you just have to have these things and you're broken inside? These people only see things one way because they are broken feminists. They hate men. They hate happiness. They hate fun. And they want to push ideologies and activism to get an agenda through in order to get the power. We're not surprised by this in the slightest, like acting like she's smart. This ain't our first rodeo and has happened with previous campaigns. Okay, so why are you complaining, crying about it, and playing the victim card? If you're so used to this, why are you even saying anything if it doesn't affect you? Gathering selected evidence to take to the police as we speak. Guys, again, who does this sound like? Under the Commonwealth Criminal Code 474.15, using a carriage service to make a threat is considered a criminal offense. All right, yeah, good luck with that one. Here we go with V, with the most based response ever. Then perhaps you should turn yourselves in for threatening people with Visa and MasterCard looming over the free trade of the internet. Holy shit. This deserves a retweet. That amazing. Like, I love V. I love his channel. But man, V on X is I think that's where he really, I mean, he shines everywhere, but man, what a banger response. And then we have something that may need to be heavily redacted because YouTube is YouTube. We have Melinda Tankard, who is the co-founder of Collective Shout. And apparently 65 years old. I mean, that's got to be an old picture. You are morally bankrupt and destroying civilization. How dare you say gamers getting off on the sex torch of, and that makes us violent? Also in my inbox this morning, which this has already been proven to be a lie, which is hysterical. I wrote, "Dear ChatGPT, I'm getting my ass kicked out here. Make me a victim. Quick." Red Yoda said, nah, they probably use Grok. They're trying to forge an email with a domain that doesn't even exist, which has been proven to be a lie, that this domain, this at grapeallwomen.com, does not exist. It is not real. It is actually, as NTM says, fake. And it's been caught. Says she's totally lying with a screenshot of Grape All That for sale currently. The domain where it came from is for sale. So it is impossible to get an email unless someone spoofed an email address that doesn't exist for no reason, which I don't think they would go out of their way to do that. I think it's more likely that they would just make something up that says something really abhorrent to make it seem like a threat, when nobody would write this. This is not even like, this is not how gamers even talk. That's how you know it's fake. I don't know who she's trying to fool, but my goodness, it is cringe. But don't worry, because that doesn't stop the victim card for Melinda, who continues and says, "Me and my team subjected to barrage of grape and that threats. Response? Didn't happen, or did, but you made them do it. Gaslighting 101. It didn't happen, and we have proof that you are lying. So carry on with your victimhood when we know it is a factual, provable lie that you did not get that email from someone, that you made it up." Savvy said, "You labeled me as a man. You directly lied about mature rated games being marketed to 12-year-old boys in your 2 most recent videos. You retweet a misogynist and don't delete it when he tells you he's not your exhibit. Your website mischaracterizes women as girls to draw scorn against companies. People looked up the domain. It doesn't exist," which, I mean, I feel like this should be bolded and be at the top. But yes, that's the biggest takeaway from all of this. "Why would a troll put energy into an email when Twitter is right there on top of that? Trolls don't, when Twitter is right there. On top of that, trolls don't type like that." Which, like, that's exactly what I was saying. That's not how people write. That's not even why. Even if that was real, it doesn't even like make logical sense. It's like you just throw that in the. I get emails that are weirdly worded sometimes, and I'm just like, I just throw it in the trash. Like, whatever. I don't even care. What even is this? Yes, your behavior is garbage and that of a liar. You've been called out for years by women and ignore them. Even try to silence them with the threat of legal action. Oh, does this sound familiar, by the way, guys? But to anyone? Bueller? And demand money when no serve happened. Whoa, what? Unlike you, I don't sleep. I will continue to follow up every post with facts of your behavior. You will not control the narrative. I'm telling you guys, Savvy is cooking right now. Savvy, aren't these the people from this morning who we saw a post describing skimpy clothes as looking available? And Savvy said, yes, they aim to ban shops from selling clothing women won't stop buying. So people want to purchase the clothes, and they're like, no, it makes you too attractive to the men. We need to ban those clothes. What does this sound like to you guys? Also replied and retweeted it. Here's the reply. And the posts for Collective Shout, Exhibit A says, these women don't understand that a lot of gamers have a grudge against women and will do some wild shit to get back at them. Collective Shout said Exhibit A, and they responded, I don't play video games, so I'm not an exhibit. Oh, that's hysterical. I mean, the infighting is glorious, where they don't even know who or why they're mad at whatever, because feminism just completely rotted their brains. Cordo said, then why do you even post that? And they responded, common woman L. Which, what? Registration data lookup tool. Enter a domain name or internet number, IP, frequently used. The requested domain was not found in a registry or registrar's RDAP server. So we know now factually that was a lie. Will they speak up and say anything about it? Of course not. Savvy also posted, when men who claim this great simulation game, along with other misogynistic content they consume, has no bearing on real-world behaviors, send us sexist abuse and threats, we can't help but notice the irony. Because, yeah, I'll take things that never happened for a million. Savvy says, you're a gross little pro-censorship piggy. Tell me, how does this help the women being raped in the UK by men who don't play video games? Why can't they ever answer that? And how are they, again, this goes back to the whole, like the ESRB and even the early 90s and late 90s. How are they drawing a correlation between gaming and when there's no direct correlation to that, except for, A, it sells, so we'll just go with that idea and say, yeah, because games have it, we'll just say it's bad. That's only one part of this, because it continues with another banger post. This is Haley, who I just recently started following, and she's been extremely based. Says, by the way, look at me, by the way. I thought I hated women, and here I am saying these women are awesome. So, and my wife is the most amazing woman on the planet. But no, guys, I hate women. maybe, hold on. Maybe it's just beautiful women. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they're so angry. Weird. Haley said, I knew the women behind Collective Shout was unhinged. She believes Lara Croft, Honoka, Cortana, and others are pornified and sexist. Yes, really. She claims no woman can have large breasts without implants, which, trust me, as a very happily married man, I can promise you guys that is not true. Excuse me? That's an insult to millions of women, including me. Yes, believe it or not, some chicks can just be beautiful with huge tits, and it's awesome. That's a real thing. They parade as advocates for women, Yet they shame our bodies, deny our biology, spew sexist nonsense, and push a narrative built on judgment and control. The hypocrisy is staggering. Collective Shout is an ideological sewage. And this person who's the co-founder, this Melinda Tankard Reist, is disgusting. Given the chance, they would ban or censor Dead or Alive, Stellar Blade, First Descendant, Halo, and so many other games in a heartbeat. It doesn't fit their worldview. They want it erased. If it features freedom, beauty, or choice, they want it gone. They scream harm, but really, it's all about control, which I keep going back to. And before I read any of these tweets, my initial take way back when this first happened was, this is not even about money right now. Eventually, it will be. Mark my words. They are taking a very strategic approach to power first, and then using that to get the infinite money glitch. This is the same old war against the so-called male gaze, a weaponized label used to shame and condemn developers and gamers for indulging in design, style, or storytelling, thanks Microsoft, by the way, that dares to celebrate human form or emotion. These are these old barren, sexually deprived bitches hate seeing other people enjoying themselves. It makes them mad. Yeah, because they're ugly and they can't compete with beautiful. And they try to find something else because oftentimes it does come down to the woman's beauty means a lot in this world. And if you don't have that, it does hold you back. It can hold you back if you don't find another talent or something else that can project you even further or slingshot you past it. It will put you behind the women that are just naturally beautiful. Hate me for saying it, but it's reality. Like that is the world we live in. Welcome to it. You can try to get mad at beautiful women all you want. Dudes aren't going to just start liking ugly girls because you're mad at beautiful women, though. That's not how it works. You have no power here when it comes to that. They see fun and spit fury. They see joy and get bitter. They see self-expression and throw bitch fits. Their mindset, if I can't have fun, no one else should be allowed to. Yep. To make matters worse, a lot of disturbing info is now coming to light about this group and its leadership. The deeper people dig, the uglier it gets. Don't let them control. Don't let them get the control they're so hungry for. And here we have a screenshot of video games with prawn-type heroines are harming that body image experts say. Which, what? This is Melinda back in 2017 saying, video games with pornified heroines. MTR quoted in Daily Telegraph today. This is, again, back in 2017, the Daily Telegraph, and let me tell you, the advertisements over here are not terrible. Let's see. Hold on. I can't even read it. I'm not complaining, but I can't read that. Video games with prawn-type heroines are harming children, body image experts say. Heroines with impossibly big breasts and unreal bodies putting on sexual poses are harming a generation of Australian children, say women's advocates. Okay, so are they experts or are they advocates? And what makes them an expert in their field? Because I always like to look at credentials of people and what their history is. And even that, it doesn't necessarily tell you anything without an actual study that's not impacted by other things that continues to force an outcome that they're trying to get to. Prawn-influenced heroines in video games with impossibly big breasts and unreal bodies are harming a generation of Australian children. The stark warning comes from concerned body image experts who warn the look at how this is written. I can't even take this seriously. I'm concerned. Those tits, those are huge. That's concerning. Little Mary over there, she has a very flat chest, and she's gonna start doing things to herself because she's sad. I'm sorry. How is that the world's problem? Like, not to sound like curt, but like, these are things that little Mary needs to take care of on her own. And hopefully she seeks out the professional help to take care of herself. But the world is what the world is. And if there are beautiful women, I would almost argue, even if there aren't beautiful women, if it is a fictional video game and people want to play as a very abnormally large-breasted person, and that's where everyone's purchasing it, have at it. Enjoy your kinks. Have fun with it. I don't see any issues with that. Among the toxically augmented characters is highly suggestive outfits that have burst onto video game screens are Rainbow Mika and Laura Matsuda from Street Fighter V and Honoka from Dead or Alive. Oh no. Guys, I mean, these just look like video game versions of beautiful girls in real life. What? Oh my God, of course Lara Croft is there. I'm sorry, what is impossible about this? She just has like a skinny abdominal section. Like, that's the best picture they got. Why not go with Tomb Raider 1 with the triangles? Like, this is the best they got. This is what women look like that are hot in real life. What am I missing here? What am I missing? I love the ads, by the way. Like, hysterically, the advertisement is proving my point. I'm not doing that, YouTube. It did that. The advertisement did that. Holy crap. The women in these video games have impossibly big breasts. They are not athletic. It's a video game, says Miss McMahon, who specializes in treating patients with eating disorders and body shaming issues. It adds to a growing culture of self-surveillancing where girls are watching and worrying about how they look. Okay. So are we to say that if all things being equal, video games didn't exist, that these girls would not have similar issues? So you are 100% blaming it on video game culture with just these girls with big breasts that are 100% pinpointing to all these issues that these girls have. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. But you know what? People did buy this back in 2017, and they aren't buying it anymore, which tells you that we are winning and they are worried. And I'll leave that one there.